Namaskar and welcome back. Ego, pride, vanity, these feelings are all actual sources of suffering. They're not pleasant feelings to have, especially for a spiritual aspirant. And yet it's extremely hard to get rid of them, this feeling of being a separate self, a feeling of I am the doer. We may do a very nice action, but if you still have this feeling, I am the doer, that feeling somehow spoils it a little bit. Whereas if you have this feeling of just being an instrument, it's so much more blissful and such a lighter feeling. So this discourse is actually short sections of two discourses. Refer to a little phrase that caught my attention recently, which our Guru Shrii Shrii Anandamurti encourages us to remember and repeat and practice to help us get rid of this feeling of vanity and ego when we are doing actions. So the first discourse is the title of it is The Supreme Cognition, and it comes from the series Subhashita Sangraha, part 24. And the second discourse is called Actions and Their Results, and it comes from, you can find it in Anandamarga Ideology and Way of Life, part 1. So here it is. You do so many things, and you think that you have done them. I have donated so much, I have done this, I have done that. You say this, but where does that energy come from? It is not your individual energy. If you are not given food or water for a few days, what will happen? You will not have any energy. You cannot create any energy. Through food, physical energy is transmuted into your individual vital energy. You do something with the help of your intellect. But where does the intellect come from? From Him. He is the eternal source of all energies, physical or intellectual or spiritual. You are not the owner of any energy or any force or any other mundane or supramundane object. You are simply to serve with His energy, with His intellect, with His spirit. The Supreme Consciousness is the Lord of all karma, not you. You are simply a machine. You must not forget this fact, that you are simply a machine. You are not the machine man. You should not have this sort of vanity. You should not say that you are the machine man, that you have done this or you have done that. You should think that He has done the work. He has done His work. And He used this physical structure as His machine, as His medium. I am fortunate because He used my structure as His machine. He used my structure as His medium. So He is the karma dhyaksha. He is the Lord of karma. He is the Lord of action. And from the second discourse, one has to be actions free in order to merge in Paramapurusha, the Supreme Consciousness. It is hard to get rid of the vanity of a doer, of the idea that I do. To avoid this, one has to always contemplate that one is a machine, and Brahma alone is the machine operator who gets the work done through this machine. Doing any act means being caught by the cycle of action and reaction. What is the way out? The only way is to surrender all actions to Brahma and to ideate that every action is performed by Brahma. Such actions will not be called our own. The actions have been performed by Brahma alone, and their consequences, whether good or bad, will be borne by Brahma alone. In that case, we have no separate identity. So, to merge in the Supreme Consciousness, we can't have this doership of actions. We must become action-free. And to become action-free, one of the elements of it is to give up this vanity that I am the doer. And the phrase, which is used in both discourses, which we are encouraged to always remember and use, is, I am just a machine. I am a machine, and the Supreme Consciousness is the machine man. And I remember, it's funny how you can read something many years, again and again, and it doesn't really penetrate until you are ready. And somehow that phrase, I am a machine and he is the machine man, never really appealed to me. Maybe it's because it's kind of not poetic and I have this poetic tendency, or maybe it's because it's just not very flattering or romantic to think of oneself as a machine. And that is precisely why it's good, why it does the job, because there's nothing romantic about being a machine. There's nothing vain about it. There's nothing egotistical. It's really takes the element, if you take the idea that I'm just a machine, it takes the ego out of it and it puts all the control in the hands of the divine where it should be. So that is what we're aiming for. We're aiming at this vanity-free, ego-free way of doing action. And this little phrase, I am a machine, you are the machine man. The more you think about it, the more you will find it blissful, because it frees you from the sense of being the doer. And the more you think about it, it helps you really get into that feeling that I am just a machine. There's no, I can't claim any credit for it. And it leads us to this blissful feeling that God is doing everything. The Supreme Consciousness is doing everything. So try it out. Start reminding yourself when you're doing actions, when you notice that little kind of presence of vanity that is so hard to get rid of. Even if you're not an egotistical person, there's still some ego there unless you make a conscious effort to get rid of it. So try that phrase. I am just a machine. I am a machine. You are the machine man. Not at all romantic or poetic, but that's the point, right? It takes the vanity out of it and it puts the doership where it should be. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you find that useful. Have a nice day. Namaskar.